Hey guys, this will be a really short video about the construction of an LCD module, such as the one on my trim box design. The construction is really simple, so I'll take the time to point out some of the design considerations that were important to me. I plan to make a video in the future where I cover some of the programming, so I won't be doing any of that in this video. But before I forget, this video is part of a playlist, so if you don't know what it is that this is about, there are a few short videos for valuable context linked below. And if you enjoy this sort of content, like and comment and all of that. The core of the module is a standard LCD panel with a backpack on the back to allow for I2C communication. This little board cuts down on the number of wires required and makes the whole project much more manageable. The outward-facing panel is really simple, with a large rectangular cutout for the LCD to nest in, 4 standoffs for screws, and a housing for the potentiometer. Now, just like with my switch panel, I printed this part face down, and there is a support plug that is easily punched out. The next piece is a simple spacer. I'm using one length of self-tapping screw, and this spacer eats up some of that extra length and keeps the screws from protruding through the front of the panel. I thought about printing just 4 small washers, but I decided a single continuous piece would be a little more manageable. The last piece is a really small potentiometer to control the brightness of the display. So the build is really simple. All that happens is the LCD panel sits right on top of these standoffs, and then the back plate just drops right in, and then screws are driven into the corners. That's all there is for that. Next, the potentiometer is dropped in. There's a small lug on the housing that prevents the potentiometer from freely rotating when installed, and there's a corresponding void in the print. Due to some internal volume constraints, I decided that the easiest orientation for the pot would be to route the wires across the back of the LCD. That's why the pot has this little recess built in that provides just enough space for the wires to be hooked up in between the LCD and the backpack. Now, normally these backpacks will have a couple of pins that control brightness on the LCD. Often these pins are connected by a jumper, which will deliver maximum brightness all the time. I don't want that, so I'm instead going to wire this up to the potentiometer. There we are. And the rest of the wiring is really simple. It's just 4 connections: ground, power, SDA, and SCL. And so when we give the microcontroller power, the display lights up and is ready to play a pre-programmed message. Then as a last demonstration, using the potentiometer on the side, we can control the brightness up or down or anywhere in between. And that's the whole build. You guys already know what I'm using my LCD for, so if you like this video, leave a comment about what you're planning to use an LCD for. Anyway, thank you guys again for watching. Goodbye for now, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.